All right, my friends, today we're going to just do a little bit TurboTax. We're going to look at some TurboTax concepts. I'll do a video on just getting TurboTax set up, and then I'm going to do another one, the next one, where I show you what happens if you take a premature distribution from an IRA and what that'll do to your taxes. And then on top of that, if you switch that over to an inherited IRA and what that will do as well. It'll be pretty interesting, actually, so stay in there. But if I first want to just set up the basis for TurboTax, this is what I use. I'm in favor of using a CPA. I really am. I think if you can find a good CPA who does proactive tax planning, is well worth, $300 or $400 you pay. The concern I have is if they're just doing basic tax, they're taking your info and filing it away for you, and then they're charging you a CPA fee. That doesn't seem worth it to me. And so my wife last year, she worked at H&R Block and did good work, learned a ton. If you want to learn about taxes, man, go to take one of those H&R Block tax classes. You get paid $10 an hour just starting out. Some of these guys make $25 an hour, seasonal work. When they have a group of clients that refer back to them, keep going back, and they get commissions and things like that. It's actually a pretty good side gig for sure. My wife didn't want to do it this year because she's helping a friend in a retail shop, and on top of that, the new tax laws and everything. She just said, I don't want to be the front end person to helping people figure all that out, because a lot has changed in terms of tax forms and everything. So, but HR Block's fine. I got no problem with it at all. If you're doing elaborate stuff, H&R Block's probably not for you. Real estate, rental properties, filing in different states. I mean, there's some things that could be for sure, but generally speaking, if you're doing anything small business oriented, and I probably would go to a CPA and I pay a couple extra $100 for sure. But I like H&R Block. Those guys do fine by me. I mean, they get trained. I know that for a fact, and they have the software. I mean, they're just plugging stuff in, and so it's good. TurboTax works fine if you have a pretty simple return, which I do nowadays. Literally, it's pretty simple. State of Georgia, that's it. When I used to live in New Jersey, South Jersey, and I commuted to Philadelphia, we had to pay taxes for the Feds, the state of New Jersey, and of course the city tax in Philadelphia. And that was always a hassle. TurboTax, I couldn't figure out to save my life, and so I just said I hired a guy who's through my church, and I liked him quite a bit. And at the end of the day, I could have done it myself, but just I turn over him and say, "Here, sign the dotted line, Josh," and pay him $300 and done. That was actually, I like that quite a bit, but. Now that I live in Georgia, I haven't found a good CPA, and I haven't really looked that hard. I looked at my church, Bolton, and I talked to a couple of those guys. I just wasn't that impressed. So TurboTax for me, and we'll see how it shakes out. So let's dive right into this. This is just TurboTax. I created a fake account here, and I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like. It's actually pretty easy, pretty intuitive, frankly. Again, if you're doing stuff that's more. If you just got W-2 income and you live in the same state, and you don't have any rental properties, no business, TurboTax is fine without question. So let's go into this. Can take me to my return. And I'm Joe Schmo. So right here you can see federal refund $3,067, and I owe $1,600 to the state of Georgia. Again, this is all fake. I'm going to show you exactly what we're doing. So let's go to my info. All right, so what happens? You log in, and then it says, all right, who are you? And I'm Joe Schmo. There's my social security number. It's literally not mine. Just FYI, if you were born in Virginia, you'd have a 230 social security back in the old days. If you're born in the Northeast, it'd be a 00 something. If you're born in Phoenix, Arizona, it'd be 76 something. I don't think that's applicable anymore, but that's the way it was in the old days. So if you're probably 20 years old or older, your social security be representative of where you were born. I imagine Seattle, Washington is probably 900 or something like that, but that's pretty cool. All right. So here's our social, completely fake. Literally my date of birth, completely fake. And I live in Georgia. My occupation is a worker. All right. So I'm married, filing jointly. Yep. My wife is Jane Schmo, and that's her social. Again, completely fake. That's her date of birth. She works in retail part-time, and she's in resident state of Georgia. We got kid 1 and kid 2. Kid 2, Schmo, born in Virginia. His date of birth, I think that's a girl. Yep. No, that's a boy. Kid 2 is my boy. Kid 1 is my girl, and they're both dependents. All right, so literally that simple. That's my mailing address for my business. And other state income, no. Literally that simple. You just enter your stuff. You go in their tax home and say, who are you? And who else is in your family? You hit continue. And I like how you can hide this running tally here. I actually like seeing it. It's kind of cool. just seeing what happens when you do various things and what happens with your refund. I'm not like defending restore. I don't do any of that stuff. Don't add max. I guess I just, it's kind of like buying a warranty for your fridge or something like that. I don't think it's worth it. But hey, I mean, I'm sure people have had good use of it for sure. All right, so let's go. So I edit. We're going to just go to my income, and it says I work for a company called Heritage Wealth Planning LLC, and it says edit, add, and pretty simple stuff here, my friends, without question. Let's see, and I've already done this, but let's show you what you do. And it's going to say who your company is, who you're working for. Are you getting W-2? Or you're getting a 1099. In this case, we're getting W-2. And there's my employer ID. Typically, a tax ID for an employer is 5-4. I don't know if that's all the case anymore. I can't. It used to be in the old days. They're all 5-4. I'm not sure that's the case anymore. But it's usually 2 numbers to start and then 7 numbers at the back. And so 5-4, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, completely made up. This W-2 belongs to Joe. You can put Joe or Jane. My employer's name is Heritage Wealth Planning. That's my company's address right there. And I'm saying I have $50,000 of wages. I had, let me get my calculator, 1,500 federal taxes withheld. So 1,500 divided by 50,000, that's 3%. So I just had 3% of my income withheld. Again, that's on your W-4. I just want to be clear here. If you're not getting enough, my wife was telling me about this all the time with a lot of the people who come in at H&R Block. And they'd owe money, and they're always like some people would be in tears, like, how do I owe money? A, it was because of Obamacare. All right, that still ticks me off to this day that these guys got away with saying they're there to protect, the poor working people when they were not. These guys got penalized big time because the individual mandate under Obamacare, and now it's gone because of Trump. I mean, the Trump tax bill got rid of that. So regardless of what you're thinking on Trump is not, he helped a lot of poorer people, the working masses out there, save money. That's just a fact. And it really, really frustrated me because I'm sitting there thinking this is Obamacare. But number 2, they're W-4. They didn't have anything withheld. And she'd be sitting there and it's sad. I mean, some of these people, what I'm talking about. And you're just sitting there, man, you're like, these people never got any education from anybody about what they need to do. And no one ever told them about their W-4. So they had nothing withheld. And now they go back and they owe to the state, they owe to the feds because they had nothing withheld. And on top of that, they had the penalty for Obamacare. So you got to make sure you look at your W-4. So if you have kids, grandkids, or people that are out there working part-time and they got a W-4, not a W-2. A W-4 is what you file to say how much you want the feds to withhold, your employer to withhold. You got to tell them, make sure you're having something withheld, at least one to have at least enough covered to your taxes. At least you'll get that back. If you have nothing withheld, you're going to owe. That's just all there is to it. And then they're going to be, they don't have to save. They're not going to have any money to pay the tax that they owe. I'm just telling you right now, it's horrible. All right, so here I'm saying I had $1,500 withheld. I took $50,000 and I said it's by 6.2, was it 6.25, I think. And I'm saying I had $3,100 for Social Security, at $850 for Medicare tax withheld. Between those two is 7.65. Again, 6.24, I think, is Social Security being withheld, and I forgot. But anyway, 7.65 all told for Social Security and Medicare. All right, so I don't have any other Social Security tips or anything. Just go down here. I'm not even putting anything on a letter code because I don't have anything, non-qualified plans. I just not putting anything. I don't have any dependent care benefits, nothing. I'm not putting anything for state and local taxes. I'm basically saying I had nothing withheld from the state, and that's why I owe money up here because I had nothing withheld. All right, so but just bear with me. We're not done here. So I hit continue, and you can do all kinds of other things. If you want to add other W-2s, by all means do so. I'm not going to do that here because I just want to show you how this works. I think it's pretty interesting. And so it's good to know TurboTax, how easy it is to get it done. All right, so next thing they're saying, I have a federal refund of $3,067. Well, how can I have a federal refund when I was only having withheld 3% of my salary? I only paid $1,500 in taxes, and we'll dive into that. So let's keep going here. And what's going to happen is there's my wages, box 1. There's my federal tax withheld in box 2. It just tells me exactly what I had. Here comes my, we notice that you didn't enter any state or local tax amount, and I just don't want to here, but you could absolutely, you can do that. You hit yes if you want to enter that. This is important so we can use this to file your state and local taxes. By all means do that, but I'm not going to just because I'm showing you how this works. All right, so here's our Medicare tax withheld. and it'll just tell you, hey, and you want to double check to make sure it looks good to go, that you're not didn't fat finger something like that. Paid family leave, worked outside USA, inmate, substitute, all this stuff. Corrected W-2, pension plan. I got money from a non-qualified pension plan, and I just clicked none of the above. And again, TurboTax is more for just kind of cut and dry W-2 employees. And if you do it like that, you're good. I just think TurboTax works just fine. Do we have another W-2? Nope. Does Jane have a W-2? I put retail, but I'm going to say no just for this scenario here. All right. They have all these questions. What if I have a W-2? My employer sent me an additional W-2. What if they did not send me a W-2? I don't have my, no, I don't. Look at your last pay stub for the year. That information is pretty accurate. If you don't have a W-2, look at your last pay stub from the year, and that will show you, it'll tally it all up for your year-to-date withholding, year-to-date taxes, year-to-date wages. Most of that will give you exactly what you need for your W-2 if you don't have one. So just look at your last pay stub, the last pay stub you got for the year, if you quit your job, the last pay stub you received from that employer, that should get you just fine. It might not have everything specifically in terms of the letters of the boxes that were, if you had 401k, it might, but it'll be pretty close. It'll give you enough to at least get started for sure. All right. So here, as you can see, I have $50,000 of income. All right. Now I have nothing from a 401k, and I'm going to show you here in just a second what that's going to look like. So let's just wrap up income or IRA distribution. Let's wrap up income. And they'll say, did you own? No, I didn't own a foreign bank. All right. Nothing to do with the foreign governments or any kind of accountings. Let's dig into your tax breaks. Yep. Let's get started. Let's ask about the kids, of course. Do I retirement savings contribution credit? That's for poor people who file for IRA. It's actually a pretty good thing. Education credit. No, do I have education credits and student loan interest? I'll have a kid in college. My real world, probably, but I'm not going to put that in there. But you can check all that stuff. It'll walk you through. It'll say exactly how much you got. All right, and again, the retirement savings tax credit is actually a very underutilized thing. I think a lot of people should use, but and we're just going to click off her. Mortgage interest refinancing. Now, again, you can click on the stuff, but if you don't have more than $24,000 of standard deductions, of itemized deductions, it's just not going to matter. It just won't. You could put it in there, but why bother? Your standard deduction. Let's say you have a property, $300,000 property, and you pay $3,000 a year property tax. All right, and on that $300,000 property, you're paying $7,000 a year in interest. That's $10,000. That's not going to beat your standard deduction. It's just not. And so, it's just all there is to it. So let's see what there was talked about here with the EIC, earned income credit, and child and other dependent tax credits. I'm not putting anything on mortgage interest or property taxes. And I've been telling you right now, don't kill yourself in doing this stuff unless you're right there on the cusp. And even that, I wouldn't bother. Now, for me, I do have more, probably $6,000 more of itemized deductions than the $24,000 standard deduction. So I will go through it. But if you only got $26,000, man, why even bother? In my opinion, by all means, are you paying a little bit more taxes? Yes, but you're just taking the standard deduction, be done with it. You got to do what you got to do. If you have $23,000 of standard of itemized deductions and $24,000 is standard, you're like, how can I get another $1,050 so I can itemize it? I don't get that's just a waste of time and energy, in my opinion. If you want to, you can easily donate $1,050 to your church. Now you got $24,050 of itemized deductions. Well, what do you do? That's only an extra $50 that you're going to write off. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth the time. All right, so let's see what they want for me to review the earned income credit. Let's see what they're saying here. Looks like earned income credit may put more money in my pocket. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So let's see what we got here. Be sure to include any months you were temporarily out of the country, which I was not. For purpose of the credit, U.S. does not include living in Puerto Rico or other possessions. Okay. Did you or Jane live in the U.S. for more than 6 months? The answer is yes, I did live in the U.S. 100% USA, baby. Did any of these uncommon situations apply? I was not in prison, thankfully. Was not claimed. We were not claimed as a qualified child by somebody else. Not valid for nope. We had a letter from notice from the IRS. Nope. We got an IRS notice that we can't claim in 2018. We're going to say no there. All right, so let's keep going through. Yay, get a tax break. Woohoo! Let's see if that did anything for my taxes. It doesn't look like anything. So, okay. And you can explain why you qualify for the various tax. Actually, maybe I'll just go back and see what they say for that. That might be kind of interesting. Let's see what they say. Why I qualify for the earned income tax credit, because I actually don't know the answer to this. Based on your earned income of $50,000, you're married, filing jointly filing status, and having 2 qualified crumb crunchers, you qualify for a credit of $309. So remember, credit is better than the deduction, my friends. So if I had tax bill due of $309, I have no taxes when I add the credit. Just remember that credit is a dollar for dollar reduction of the taxes you owe. Much, much better than the deduction. Much better than the deduction. Now the question is it refundable credit? And refundable means not only did it wipe out your taxes, but they're going to give you money back. All right. So that's on top of my head. I don't know if this will be refundable or not. So let's keep going forward. I just don't know. Let's see what we got here. So, all right, let's see what they say about child and other dependent tax credits. Let's see what we got. Bring it on, baby. Bring it on. Looks like the child or other dependent tax credit may put more money in my pocket. Woohoo! I need more money. Let's check something to confirm that you qualify for both of these credits. Okay. What's new with the child? Let's see what's new with the child and tax credits this year, because with the new tax law changes, a lot new. These tax breaks for qualifying dependents get a few updates this year. They expanded to benefit more people and doubled in value. The credit for other dependents is a new tax break for people with non-child dependents who aren't necessarily related to them. We'll help you. Okay, good. So we'll say it's helpful, and then we'll continue on. So the TurboTax is going to help us figure this out. We know it's uncommon, but we have to ask, did you or Jane earn income as an inmate or while in work? No. Not that I'm aware of, unless my wife is Jane Schmo is hiding something from me. Yeah, congratulations, we get a tax break. Why do I qualify? Well, let's see why. Your $4,000 of child tax credits comes from adding your 2748 child tax credit with your 1258 additional child tax credit. Your 2 children that count for the child tax credit and your lack of dependents who count for the child tax credits will qualify for these credits. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That's great. So all right. That's fantastic. I guess that means that's part of this refund I'm getting. $4,000 in child tax credits. So I'll take it. Let's take it. Just one last thing. Have you received? No, I have not received a notice from the IRS for my other tax credit. All right. So there we go. So income taxes paid $1,500. I got my credit there. I got my earned income tax credit. Remember, I don't have to itemize to get this stuff. So that's good. All right. I don't want to check for more tax breaks. So let's wrap up tax break here. All right. All right. Home buyer. Did you get the home buyer credit? Nope, we did not. Did you pay for expenses so you're dependent? Nope, we did not, because my wife stays home. Jane Schmo stays home. The standard deduction is right for you. Yep, exactly. I'm telling you, my friends, just default to standard deduction unless there's a reason not to. And the reason would be significantly high real estate taxes, significantly high mortgage interest expense. If you're tithing, without question, you got those 3 things. You're tithing, high interest, mortgage interest expense, and high real estate taxes, most than just itemized, than standard deduction. Yeah, we did have health care for the year. Actually, let's see what happens if we go. None of us have it at any point. I'm just curious. Will that change anything up here? No, we're going to say nope. Okay, leave blank and move on. We're just going to say nothing. I wonder if that's going to change anything up there. Let's see. It looks like the penalty can't be waived. Whoa! Look at that. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. That's freaking nuts, man. Look at that. $2,085 because we had no health insurance. And again, they're only going after the rich people. Yeah, bull crap. That's $170 a month because we don't have any health insurance. Let's see what that does up here. Yeah, look at that. Now I only get $900. I just told you, right? That's exactly what happened. My wife is telling me. Man, that's freaking crazy. Let's see what they got here. That's nuts. Let's see if let's get started. I don't want to qualify for any uncommon. Do you have any name? Nope. No name. Why would you get credit for that? Do you want to apply your refund? No, I don't. No, heck no, I'm not donating to the presidential campaign. Jane doesn't want to donate to the presidential campaign either. Did you experience identity theft? No, I didn't, but it's become more and more prevalent. We know that for a fact. And let's see, let's keep going to wrap up. That's all we need, Joe. Well, thanks there, TurboTax. Much obliged. All right, looks good. And we'll go back on part 2. I'm going to show you a couple things. What happens when you take an IRA distribution before you're 59 and a half. And so we'll do another video there. So let's hit continue. Okay, so let's continue. And I don't think they give you a snapshot of your 1040. I don't know. Let's see if they do. I think that's where you got to pay. Let's see. All right. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. Will they give us a snapshot? All right. I don't want the state. Right, let's just see what they got. I don't want any of that. We're just going to hit the... All right. Hold on just a second, my friends. All right. All right, good. Mostly done. That's what we're talking about. Let's leave no stone unturned. Yep. All right. Nope. All right. Not a first-time filer. Nope. So let's keep continuing here. Let's see how Georgia taxes income. All right. Retirement. We don't care. We're just going to go through this. You can look at all this. Okay. That's Georgia credits. All right. Let's just keep going down here, my friend. I just want to see if they give us a snapshot of the 1040 without having to pay for it. I was a full-time resident in Boink. All right, so let's see here. Let's just put 0. All right, that's just Georgia stuff. You don't have to pay a penalty. All right. Nope, we're going to say no to none of that stuff. We're just going to hit done with other tax situations. And let's check it over. All right. And everything is good. Fantastic. All right, so let's go over your Georgia numbers. That looks good. I don't, at this stage, don't care. I want to finish. All right, so here's where they make you pay for it. All right, that's too bad. All right, so let's go back home here. All right, so that was it. So as you can see, it's pretty easy. Obviously, you're going to get your W-2, and I don't have one here. But what you need to do is if you just need to take your W-2 info and put it in there. That's all you got to do. And once you do it, you'll have an easy tax form. I'm just telling you. Don't spend all day trying to find out if you get an itemization for a Goodwill donation. I'm telling you, folks, if you don't have $24,000 or anywhere near that of itemized deductions, it's just not worth it, okay? Anyway, I hope this helps. I like TurboTax. I've never done the H&R Block online one. I don't know. My wife said people like that too, but a lot of times the nice thing with H&R Block, if you do it online, you could go into the office and talk to somebody as well, which is pretty cool. But I can't remember if there's an extra charge. I don't remember. But there you go. There's my review of TurboTax 2018. Nothing wrong with that. And stay tuned for the next video, again, where I show you what it looks like when we're actually doing with IRA distributions, inherited IRA distributions, and things like that nature. We'll show you some of the issues that you have to contend with. All right. Don't forget to subscribe down below. As always, comments, questions, concerns, put them in the show notes there, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.